Namaste and peace, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for being here with me, spending a little time in our group meditation. Glad you're here. Hey, KG, if I think I understand you correctly, yes, I think that you can work on it. I'll be talking about that this morning, how we work on our divinization. Good morning, Betty. So, what is self divinization and is it possible? The answer is well, the second part is yes, it is possible. And the first part is it's what we've been talking about ever since we began this conversation. It is the acquisition, if that's the right word, or the remembrance or the acceptance of a higher frequency in yourself. It's somewhat similar. It is similar to what Kabir wrote. Kabir, a famous poet, he said, "As the river enters the ocean, so my heart touches thee." Have you ever been to a river's end as the place where the river empties out into the ocean? Can you tell where the river ends and where the ocean begins? It's very difficult to do because the two become one in the process. And that is a form of self divinization. By channeling yourself like a river toward the ocean, when you get to the ocean, you too become divine. Now, this got somebody in trouble, and I mentioned this guy a week ago, Al Haji. He's from around 900 ish of the Common Era. Jeez, I say that all the time. ERA, the Common Era, also called AD, but the Common Era. He was a Sufi mystic, an early Sufi mystic who got condemned for saying, I am the truth, I am God. And this is what we're talking about. This is what Jesus was talking about when he separated a little bit when he said, You are a child of God. But a child of God is when grown up. If you're going to extend the metaphor, when a child grows up and the mother or father dies, then that child becomes a mother or father. You see what I'm saying? That there is a process of divinization that is available to us and accessible to us and spoken of by all of the mystics. So in Christianity, there's this thing called the vision of God. And we talked about this a little bit in Mystic Tea Salon yesterday when one of our members who talked about the experience she had in her meditation when she found this place of expansion. And she related it to the expansion I experienced when I was dead in heaven and this infilling of the divine uncreated light that magnified itself inside me. She experienced this, something similar to this, a scaled down version of this, which is still pretty huge. Okay. Just because it's scaled down from when I had no body and had no brain and experienced it in heaven, just because it's scaled down here doesn't mean it's not huge. It is huge because here we don't experience what I experienced there very often. But you can have this experience of the expansion of the self outside of the body, which is very similar to a visitation from the uncreated light. In Christianity, this is called theosis, and that's Theosis, theosis. Theo, of course, meaning God in Greek. It's the participation in the uncreated divine grace of the divine, of Theo, of the I am, the uncreated divine. When this is encountered, because this is created, right? This is creation. I live in a created body. And when I experience the divine self, I experience it without my created self. I experience not my physical self. I experience the uncreated nature of the divine, which, as it turns out, like where the river meets the ocean, is me. So, yes, self divinization is completely possible. It's actually the goal of meditation. It's what we're talking about here all the time. All right, there's another word, theoria. Theo, God in Greek, Ria, a vision of the divine glory, which is what an expanded consciousness is. It's a type of vision of the divine glory. And the more this happens to us, the more we become like al halaja, halaja. and my Arabic's not so great. So we become more and more like God and less like ourselves, more and more like the source, more and more like the cosmic universal consciousness, less and less a tiny little human being. Self divinization is a real thing, and it is what we are about here. Meditation, centering prayer, combined with Kriya Yoga or whatever type of meditation you practice, empties the self of the self will and allows the capital W will, the will of the divine, to become who you are. And that is divinization. Now, it's kind of a misnomer to say self divinization because actually that's what you are in your origin. So it's not something new, it's a return to. Okay, I hope that's enough and gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. I got a blue jay outside making a lot of noise. No, it's a catbird, gray catbird over there. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let me know if you do. A child grows up. A child of God grows up. Deep stuff. Peter, love your dives into Sufism. Thanks, Freetness. Hey, Wendy, loved your point from your recent talk at the conference. Meditation is the training for the end of the egoic mind. That's what it is. You're in training for the end of the egoic mind. Thanks for bringing that up. And that was a talk I gave to a room full of half a room half full of atheists at the death. I think it's a death, grief, and belief conference. I might have got that mixed up. I can't word the same as when it was really close to happening of the realization. I guess you could say, so now my wording for it has a lot less meaning, basically. That's what happens, KG. Everything we say about the divine is untrue because it's unspeakable. The divine is ineffable with a capital I. And all of our mystical experiences, this experience where the ocean, where the river becomes the ocean, where you encounter the divine, where you have this experience of the uncreated light, or the expansion of your consciousness, or a raising up of of your frequency to a level at which you become immaterial. None of these things can be put into words. That's why mystics talk in metaphor. And it's always difficult to discuss, and you have to discover it for yourself inside yourself to actually understand it. You have to experience it personally. That's a great difficulty of communicating this information. You have to experience it. And it sounds like you did, KG. If you told me you had this divine experience and then you could talk exactly what it was, I'd be wondering if you actually had the experience because you can't say it. Nobody can. That's the problem. Keep struggling with the words, keep trying to say it. That's what I do for a living basically. That's what I'm trying to do is articulate the inarticulable, say the thing that can't be said. I was able to actually look from the point of a view that's looking at most of the other points of view that were ego fear mongering, and I was able not to make a wrong turn due to experiences in the past. That's what I'm talking about. When you have this experience of divinization, you have a new view not only of yourself in terms of the divine, but of yourself in terms of the world, how you live in the world. It is an acquisition of a perspective of becoming a witness to your own life. And from the witness point of view, looking this way at your life from the outside point of view, while you're actually inside your, well, that's going to get complicated if I talk about that. So, but when you see yourself from this witness point of view, it gives you an objective perspective on which way to turn. Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I stay or should I go? That's the question. And when you are in a divine higher elevation state, you witness yourself and are able to make choices based not on your past or your potential future, but on where you actually are, which is in a divinization state. I'm not usually able to figure out the state because of an accident, a lot of fears and blocks of illusions, and I'm only doing a small amount. Of course, we're all only doing a small amount, KG. That is just the way it is here. Hey, all right. I'm going to stop us here right now, KG, because we got less than 20 minutes left and I want to get our meditation in. But I love your questions and I hope you keep bringing them up and talking about it. And sorry you ended up getting not able to talk yesterday. And let me know. I wasn't able to read your note. Let me know if you want not church to be as long as it's been or to shorten it up. We talked about that a little bit yesterday at Mystic Tea Salon. Let me know what you think. Where's my mask? My mask is here. I guess I don't know where my earbuds are. So I'm going to pop this on. Thanks for liking. If you like the video, it really helps. The algorithm in YouTube and subscribing does too. I'm going to set the timer today for 19 minutes because it's 8:11 here on the east coast of the USA. We'll begin with 3 ohms and drop into our centering prayer. And if you want to know more about centering prayer and how it works, there is a link below. Peace and love, everybody. Let's take a dive inside ourselves. When we practice together, we enhance each other's meditation. We grow together in community. Because where 2 or 3 are gathered, I am there, this multiplication, magnification of the divine self. Let's go. Centering prayer. Follow your breath. Follow your prayer word. When your mind wanders, return to your prayer word, your mantra, and your breath. You may slowly open your eyes and let your eyes adjust to the light. Thanks for joining me this morning in this meditation. I hope it was as deep for you as it was for me. Peace and love. See you tomorrow at our Zoom group. There's an email that you can subscribe to at peterpanagore.love. It'll send you a link every single Tuesday morning for our in-depth talk on Kriya use and centering prayer and meditation. We meditate for a longer period of time on Tuesdays, and we have a much deeper conversation live on Zoom. Thanks, Kristen. Thanks, PL. Thank you, Wanda. Thanks, KG. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Peace and love, Kitya. Namaste. I'll see you soon. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Hey, Nadine from Sylvania, Ohio. Thanks for being here. Peace, Betty.